Are we live? Then punctuality police are gonna get onto you, DG. I think we're live, and you can tell I'm all over the place. I've literally just got in once again and put my hoodie down. Let's go. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. People deluded. I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good morning to those of you in the UK. Obviously, wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Wherever you lot are, however you're doing. I hope you're all having a good Saturday wherever you guys are. I hope you've all had a great week and things like that. A week where you can look back and obviously feel a sense of accomplishment as you obviously move closer. I hope you did to your goals, dreams, aspirations, all of those sort of things, man. I just want to see you lot do be the best you lot can be. And again, anybody listening, anybody taking this in, I wish you the best in terms of, physical health, mental health, financial freedom and all of that good stuff. Please make sure you're hitting the like button on your way in. As you lot know, the content never stops. I won't be able to do an Arsenal versus Chelsea watch along because I'm going to be at the Emirates. I will do a video on my, when I get back, of my opinions on the game and whatever. So you'll get something. But in relation to the watch alongs, you're going to have to miss me for a sec, man. Shout out Curtis Shaw. We'll flock over to Curtis Shaw if he's doing one in that. In fact, saying that, I'm pretty sure I did content with him this week and he'll be at the game. So I don't know who else you're going to take in that regards, but you're going to have to find something to do. Obviously, the grind doesn't stop. We're going to, be here for an hour or so and whatnot. Members and whatnot, get your questions in, please. Without you lot, I can't do this. Straight after this, we're going into another thingy, people. Obviously, we're going into another live stream where everybody be able to talk in the chat. Shout out the Twitch gang. I can't answer none of your questions, but as these are not questions, big up One True Villain for all of these things. Big up yourselves. So yeah, I'll be back again. Well, 11:30 will go again, people. We'll be speaking about Lautaro Martinez, this Bellerin new deal business. I'm pretty sure there's something I want to speak about that I'm forgetting to mention. But either way, that's what we're going to speak about, and any other topics and whatnot. So yeah, members, get your questions in, flow them in. I'm going to get into the ones that I've asked you already or where you've placed them and things like that. We'll get into it. A man said early morning settings. Come on, my guy, man. The grind don't stop. After I finish these live streams, I'm actually really trying to make sure I can stream Football Manager, and I want to get that nailed down today, man. So it is where it is in that regard. Shout out to everyone who's not a member that's locked in and things. As I said, members and all those sort of things. If any questions come to your dome, hit them in the live chat. Other than that, please allow me to go on the YouTube community tab on my phone. And obviously, I'll answer you guys' questions, people. It's as simple as that, really and truly. As I said, if you ain't hit the like button already, you're doing me dirty. So and like I said, shout out to all the members who listen. You'd be surprised how many people actually don't listen. So shout out to the members that were able to listen and were able to obviously get their Q&As where I've asked them to do it. I really appreciate that. Whatever you said. Glad this is this Q&A is at a better time for me than the last one. Aye, man. Sorry about that, my guy, man. Sorry about that. I try my best to help you lot. Shout out all the members, moderators, subscribers, and just supporters of the content. Without you lot, this thing is pointless. Claudius has said, would you ever consider a meet and greet with a few of your members? I ain't no celeb to do meet and greet, but why not, man? I'll see a lot of you all the time and talk football and stuff, or a show with 2 to 3 members to get their opinions. Obviously with Twitch and the discourse and stuff, shout out to Tino. We're trying to get that something along them lines sorted for next season. So Claudius, don't worry, man. There'll be a platform for the members and people that want to get their opinions across. And I think as much as I love doing content and speaking and whatnot, I actually want to put that to the back burner and things like that. I'd rather hear you lot's opinions. So yeah, there's some exciting things we're going to try and do in relation to that and see what obstacles we can kind of move out of our way and do things. So yeah, man, in relation to meet and greet, man, I ain't no celeb for that, but yeah, the rest, it can happen, man. Big up Oshi has said, what criteria can be used to evaluate a club's medical and performance department? Have you ever seen rankings or evaluations of medical departments in the Premier League? I haven't seen such rankings, so I can't comment. But I mean, again, it's a bit, I'm a football guy, barely. So I don't really understand the medical outlook. But I mean, just as my example, I mean, I'd assume, again, if I've had injuries or a certain amount of injuries prior to someone else coming in and it's either increased or decreased, that's how I would judge it. And what other metrics are there? Obviously, you can't just say because a new medical guy's come in and there's more injuries or something, we're doing something wrong. There could be changes in training. For instance, Arteta and Emre, they like double sessions, high intensity. A byproduct of that you more saw it under Emery was teething problems. People's hammies are going and things like that. So I'd say stuff along them lines, year on year cases. And for me, obviously, no, I think there's a loss of a human element with football. I do think there's at least to the fans, there's a one touch approach. And I think, you've got to understand everybody's literally different. How Partey might react in a recovery session might be the best for him, but that same treatment might be terrible for, I don't know, I'm just thinking of Torreira. So Torreira, what works for Torreira might not work for Ben White. So just understanding them and whatnot, because there's certain players that can train every week and they've got no problems. There's certain people that have got to start the week on a Monday. They're kind of light in terms of training, not really participating, and then they get heavier loads and more involved as the week goes on and we prepare for the match day. There's obviously people of the opposite, where as you get closer to a match day, the intensity has to die down, or they might not be able to do it. And I think when you look at how David Luiz, Xhaka and Thomas Partey across the course of last season were injured, I definitely think in relation to Arsenal, there's something that could be done better in that regards personally. But in relation to specifically how you can judge their performance and how you can judge the medical and performance departments, apart from like year-on-year cases or just reworking what they're doing, I'm not too sure. We'd have to ask someone that actually knows something in that regards to me, man. Next question. Big up you lot, man. Fresh out the blocks with 2 great questions. Stylish you has come with a barrage of questions. Shout out to Stylish, man. He's one of the bouncers of the live chat. Always see him making sure you've hit the like button. Please make sure you've hit the like button and you've set your reminders for the next live stream, people. He has said, who's your favorite player of all time? Easy, Thierry Henry. Easy, Thierry Henry. I've got a lot of favourites, but excluding Thierry Henry, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Dennis Bergkamp, Robert Perez. All right, let's exclude Arsenal because we're going to be here all day. Excluding Arsenal, Ronaldo, Lima, Ronaldinho, Dani Alves, Cafu, Roberto Carlos, Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, Jogba, I can't lie, Eto'o, Rooney, Gerrard, Lamps, Scholes, Bex, just anyone who's decent. Like Bex, I had the England shirt, I throw Saka's already up there for me as well, man. Saka's one of my favorite players already as well. I'd say Saka's up there. So yeah, you said favorite. Oh well, I've kind of answered the question. You said favorite current Arsenal player. Well, because I've said Saka, I'm gonna not say it. I would say, you know what, in no order, top 5. It's tough, but let me say Saka's there, Smith Rowe's there, Haaland bias, Aubameyang's still there for me. Martinelli's there, Tierney's there, Partey and Gabriel. Again, it's difficult, but I'd slip them in, put some asterisks next to their name and things like that. I like Lacazette as well, but Pepe as well. But you know what? Let me not do well. Saka and Smith Rowe would be it, but I'd say Tierney and Saka, to be fair with you. Favorite footballing moment could be Arsenal, could be a neutral team, or personal. Well, personal. Anytime I've won a trophy like last season, man, it was fantastic because obviously I went from having a team and captaincy to getting stripped of it to playing no football to being an invincible and winning a title. It was quite an amazing season, and obviously scoring mad goals and things. As you can see, I'm not showing you the goal, but silver. Hey, yo. Trophy. What have you got there? This is what we meant. Oh, thank you very much. The other team can get put in these. This is my favourite moment, man. Anytime I've won trophies, throughout my whole Sunday league career, that's my favourite moments, I'd say, man. So I'd say that. Favourite footballing moment of recent, I would actually say it's whenever Arsenal have won a trophy. I have enjoyed winning the big games, but I'd say 2014. I did enjoy the FA Cup against Villa. It did feel a bit pantomime. It did feel like we was actually going to win it. But I'd say 2014, man, to see us finally end that trophy drought, to go through that emotional roller coaster. Like I told you lot before, I'm in the whole stand, like obviously Buki ticket and that. And with my nephew, we're in the, we've done our madness to get here. We're almost late. There's problems on the train. We've done all the madness that comes with a match day, in it. Police have tried to mess with me as well. Not trying to, things have happened, in it. We've got in the whole section and then we're there. I'm sure Arsenal are 1 or 2 goals down at a point, and me and him are just staring at each other. And obviously he's young at this time, so I'm bringing him in it. I'm doing the calculations. I'm like, bro, I spent this much on that. The tickets cost this much, that much. And then I'm really sat here just getting bantered. And I think it was BBM them times. I'm looking at my BBM and all my friends are laughing at me for being there. And just to see Santi Cazorla, patting it and everyone else fix up, it was lovely, man. It was lovely to see Wenger there. It was lovely, man. So I'd say that of recent, really and truly. I'd say that of recent. But yeah, man, or anytime I see Ronaldinho play, to be fair with you. Great question, man. Very, very nostalgic questions. Which, like I said, man, the 3 questions I've answered so far have been amazing. One love to you lot. Great questions. TW, I'm gonna live from Planet X. Don't worry, I can see your comments. So I'm gonna get into your one after this. Members, keep rolling them out. TW said, Deluded, what is your starting 11 versus Brentford, assuming everyone is fit and we buy no one else? TW, oof, tough one. Assuming nothing changes. So at this moment in time, assuming there's nothing over Leno, I'd say Leno in goal. Gabriel's not fit, is he? So I'd probably lean towards Pablo Maria. I think he's looked the best centre half for me in training pre-season from what I can see as a fan so far. So I would say Marie left back. Man said left back, less centre half. If Gabriel was fit, obviously Gabriel plays, but Marie, Ben White, right back Chambers, left back Tierney, Leno in goal, if I haven't made that clear. I think, with the revelation, Xhaka is going to stay. He probably will go for Xhaka and Partey, or Partey and Xhaka, or Xhaka and El Nene, or Partey and El Nene. I thought it would have been Partey and El Nene if Xhaka did move. But I would prefer it to be Lokonga and Partey, Smith Rowe within that 10 position. But, Lokonga might have to wait before he's blooded in. So it probably will be Xhaka and Partey. But for me, you ask me mine, Lokonga, Partey, Smith Rowe within the 10, Saka and Pepe, either side. I don't care who's on the left, who's on the right. It should probably be Lacazette, but I'm going to go with Aubameyang through the middle. So I would say that really and truly. But I'm not really happy, excluding Lokonga. I'm not really happy with the potential partners for Partey. I would like a right back. No disrespect to Callum Chambers, because he hasn't done anything. It's nothing to do with Chambers. I just think we need a right back. I'd say there's still question marks in goal. What's going on with the Leno thing? Because all we hear is Bellerin, Xhaka, and Leno all want to keep it moving. Leno's back in training, and to be fair, you haven't really heard a lot of noise in comparison to the others since he's come back. Xhaka, 1 minute he's dead on set to go Roma, then he's here. That's a saga that's going to drag on, and one that I don't think is finished. You're hearing Bellerin, new deal now. Bellerin wants to go. So where's the thinking in relation to that? Too much question marks for me. Gonna get back into you lot's questions in a sec. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Toby said, any big predictions for the season? Players you reckon could surprise? Top goal scorer, most improved player from last season? Toby, I'd have to really sit down and think about it. You've hit me up at 16 minutes past 10 a.m. on a Saturday. You've hit me, I'm not prepared. I don't know, my guy. Big predictions, I'm just going to say Aubameyang's going to be back to goal scoring ways, really. Top goal scorer, I'm going to say Aubameyang because I'm talking it into existence. Most improved player, I would like it to be someone I don't necessarily rate, to be fair. I'd love it to be Bellerin or whatever, because, we'd have a right back. But I would say by default, I'm going to have to cop out and say Aubameyang, because Aubameyang, by his own standards, wasn't levels last year. So I'd say that. Hopefully, Pepe gives me prolonged, he's allowed to have a prolonged over a 38-game period sort of opportunity. I would love it to be Willian if he stays. I'd love it to be, because if the man's going to stay, at least be a good footballer, isn't it? So I would say that, but you've caught me cold there, man. If Pogba stays, I think Pogba is going to do a madness, man. Well, that's a good question. What are things you've overcome this year in your professional life and personal? Oh, I thought that meant overall. Over the year, let me actually think. Anxiety in certain aspects, you don't see it a lot, but I used to get quite anxious before videos. When I think about the future, obviously, when you're doing this alone and trying to build something, there is no safety net of a pension, of a a solid paycheck. Like, at least you really do. I really have had to understand you got to pay the cost to be the boss. The boss gets paid last. It really is filled with anxiety. You are constantly, ticking over the pennies and things like that. So I'd say that, like, just understanding things can't be in my control is how I react to it. It's been a good year for me, in terms of positivity. So there has been things to overcome learning certain skills. Like, I'm not anywhere there on Photoshop, but for me, I'm dramatically better than I was on Photoshop. I didn't think it could happen. So there's that. Haven't quite been able to overcome, the stitch up sort of business. And one thing that I've really struggled to do is like get these player interviews and things for you, because there's been a lot of, not even the players, a lot of bad mind and all these sort of things in the background. So I haven't overcome that yet, but I'd still say I'm working on it. In my professional life, what have I overcome? It's a difficult one, man. I'd say to be able to be more comfortable on live streams, stuff like that. I've had a good year in terms of there hasn't really been a significant roadblock this year. Historically, you know, I always tell you, like, you know, I never would like to say depression, but of course, probably depression, being broke. Like I remember £3 in my account, and then I just had to do the madness, really. So yeah, stuff like that, really. That's why I always keep humbleness. I know life can go up and down, and I've seen that a lot, man. But in relation to this year, because of you know, I've had a good year, really and truly. You know, I've had a good year. We've, you know, I'd say at one point I didn't think what was the target? It was like 30,000 subscribers or whatever. So I'd say that I didn't think it was gonna happen, because there was a point where it just felt like YouTube was, and I still feel that it's doing something to not allow my thing to grow and do these sort of things. So I would say that, really. But we're overcoming things every day. But you know, as long as you decide to get up, you've won, in it. You know, because many times we wake up, we have that decision to just sit in our beds and feel sorry for ourselves. But anyone that gets up is a champion in my book. So anyone that's struggling at this moment in time, it might not get better today, it might not get better tomorrow, it might not get better the next day, but it will get better one day. You just have to keep your head, man. So yeah, man, appreciate the questions. Out of all the player interviews you did, which was your favorite and why? Ooh, cliche, but I enjoyed all of them. Still, I enjoyed all of them. You know, they all had different takeaways. I enjoyed them all, man, and it's nice to see. I just think you see a different side of them. Like I feel I like Charlie Patino, his openness. I liked Amari Hutchinson's willingness to do it. Tyrese John Jules as well. You know, he was very thorough with the way he answered his questions. You know, I knew Brooke Norton Coffey had elite mentality, but to hear the way he speaks and how he's so driven and all these sort of things, it was delightful. And you know, James Balogun of Liverpool, Sam Greenwood as well. Like to just, you know, for Sam, it was interesting to like really tap into, you know, his how he thinks about things. Because I think when you see how footballers think, you can kind of understand him, and like to see the left foot and the right foot and how he actually, his footballing journey. I think, and a lot of ones I didn't mention. You know, I'm typically going with the Arsenal ones, but there was a lot of good ones. You know, Liam Thomas as well was a good one. You know, my guy Tariq, who's at Chelsea, you know, I like to do that with him because obviously I've watched that guy grow and play as a footballer. Like I told you, look, before his age group, I swear to you, there was like 11 footballers that must be playing ball now, and a couple of them have not quite gone on and made it. But literally that age group there, they had Martel as well, who's at Fulham and was at Chelsea, and Vashon, who was at West Ham, and I don't know where he is now. And they had a couple of others, man. Tanganga was there as well. At Spurs, they used to beat up every team they played. They were faster, stronger, skillers. Every one of them, from literally the goalkeeper, Alfie Whiteman was a bit older than them, but he's about could just dance past, man. So I would say them, really. There was a lot of good interviews, man. I enjoyed them all. Charlie Gilmore's one, you know, to really see. You know, it's not nice that he had to go through the back problem, but to hear him overcome it and hear him detail how he went about things, I'd say that. So they all had their own little different ones, really. So I'd say that I enjoyed them all, and I enjoyed them all because I always say in life, they owed me nothing. You know, these individuals took time out of their day and their life and whatever to do it with me, and I'm really appreciative to all of them for such. So I would say they all had different little takeaways and things. It sounds cliche, but genuinely, that's what I believe, man. And it's nice for me as well because obviously, you know, these footballers, you know, they don't know no one from nowhere, in it. They don't know me from nowhere. And obviously, they not that they think someone's out to get them, but they could think someone's out to get them. Someone's trying to get some mad article with mad traction and put them in trouble. So for me, it's like when I'm telling them that, you know, obviously, you know, it's not live, it's recorded. You'll get the video. Anything you don't like, we'll take it out. You know, anything you feel you've messed up, just keep rolling. We'll pattern it and all of these sort of things. So then it's nice for me to see some of them are very cool from the start. They're on it. Some of them are a bit introverted. Some of them have been anti and you wouldn't get it. And some of them you slowly seen them open up and warm up and become calm. And I know I don't need to make it about this, but for me, especially for the young black ones as well that are coming from certain places, I just think it's nice that they can just feel a bit comfortable and they can see that I'm not trying to make them look dirty and stuff. Because my thing is, you know, I want them to tell their stories, like, and I want them to tell it properly in their own way and feel comfortable. And I think when you look at the media, you know, that you see the difference when Chunks and Harry Pinero and all of these guys are interviewing these ballers. You know, I'm not saying it just has to be them, but I think there's got to be balance because you can see how they open up. Look how Mason Mount is chatting with Chunks and them things there, as opposed to, you know, when you're asked the same questions and things. And it's refreshing hearing them as well thank me for giving them opportunity and all of these sort of things when it's really the other way around. So I'd say that it's a great question. Smash the like button, please, people. So yeah, man, keep the questions coming, man. Keep the questions coming. Some very interesting ones. Members, keep the questions coming. Twitch gang, shout out to you lot. But in relation to your questions, you have to wait for the Twitch Q&A, or you have to wait for the next live stream at 11:30 a.m. This is a members questions thing. So I appreciate your questions, but yeah, man. Love those interviews, show a different side to the players at different stages of their careers, was very insightful. Appreciate that. And the thing is, I just feel people just look at them as robots, man. It's like many people don't care about Charlie Patton or Mari Hutchinson, the person. It's man at Arsenal, England, future, this, that, and the other. They don't care about him as a person, and I care about the both of them. Like, obviously, we care about the baller, he's a footballer, but it's about the guy and whatever. You know, what do they see? How do they see themselves? What what are their passions? How have their passions shaped the way they look at football? You know, there's little things, little bits and pieces. You know, why is their mentality so focused? You know, when I like with Brooke, I knew he was focused, but to hear the way he spoke at 17, I get it. You know, it's not a game for him. He's man are trying to make it. Like he's very, very switched on. Like I used to always say to him, you're like someone's dad. Like you're mad switched on. So yeah, man, it's there, man. This is a safe space. The media dons are done at it. And the thing is, I don't think they're done, bro. Because England, it's one of them where just because you're in a circuit, you'll always get called. That's why it's the same old dons doing everything, and that's what stops people. But new media is coming. It might take a lot of time, man. But it is what it is. Appreciate the questions. Members, keep them coming, man. Some very insightful questions. Let's keep going with the ones on the community tab. Claudius has said again with some nostalgia. What is your favorite football boots to wear? Pardon me. And what about it makes it your favorite? For me, it's the Adidas Predators that Dan used to wear in the 90s. They did a human race rework of it with Pogba as well. I would say for me, for nostalgia purposes, I would say, do you remember I always say it. Do you remember the Ronaldo boots, the Brazilian Ronaldo? He had bare, but the ones that stuck out for me and I loved, I used to have them in Astros and the boots. Well, do you remember that the silver ones? I can't really describe the design, but it had the silver and the black ticks. I need to find it. Let me see if it's there. Ronaldo Lima boots, and he had the blue ones. I never had them, but they were my favorite ones that I've never had. He had the blue, and I don't know. I think he wore them. I don't even know when he wore them, but I think he wore them in '98. But then he had them. I never had the 198 ones. They were quote unquote favorites I've never had. I really do love Vapors, even though these are not it. But I'm trying to find it. Silver boots, man. Where are they? The R9 ones, man. I can't even. It's not coming up, man. I don't even know what you type in. Is that them? That's not them. Is that them? Yeah. These things. These little things. I had them in Astros and things. These are the ones. Not the best of pictures, but these ones. These litty or like most comfortable ones away from nostalgia. And when I got a bit older with these CTRs, still these were very comfortable. I actually had these ones as well. How much Kit Kats I sold to be able to get these. I used to have a boy who played for an academy. He used to bust me them for free as well. Don't know hot up names, but I would say them. And historically, I love Vapors, man. I just love the Vapors. I don't know what they're doing with the Vapors now, but look how Vapors are just wavy, man. I'd say them ones really. I did like Preds. I did feel Addy Pures were quite cool. I did have a pair of Couple Mundials. I'd say Couple Mundials would be my safe favorite. I did like Preds, but I was a night guy, man. It's all been a night thing for me all the time, man. It's always wanted Vapors. Like I said, R9 boots and all those sort of things there. So it is what it is. Cameron said, what's your gym workout routine? Mine, when the time permits, is chest and triceps, back and triceps, legs day, final day, your favorite, shoulders. To be fair to you, lately, because I've been pressed for time, we've been just mix and matching. Like I'd say tricep and shoulders specifically, bicep and traps, back and leg day, and then chest is normally by itself. But when it comes to chest, that's when I normally do the chest things and then start doing like bare sit-ups. And I don't know what it's called, but it's like in my gym, you've got these boxes and you can stack them on top of each other. And like you obviously from a standing position, jump on them. Like it's a bit like a Ronaldo thing. There's that. And then we've got something called, I don't know what it's called, but it's like you put the weights on it. I think the NFL ballers do it. It's like there's a starting line and a finish line. It's like a weighted thing. You put the weights on it, and then you have to either push it. You can run with it, but either push it and whatnot. So I'd say that. I did used to like deadlift, but once I hurt my back, and I can't lie, man, I'm not trying to mash up my back because back is something you can't really fix. So I stopped with the deadlift thing, and if I do, it'll be extremely light. But I'd say that I do love a good squat. So yeah, there's that as well. I don't love it, but it needs to be done. But I would say that. Good question, man. Good question. So yeah, what other questions? Let's try and mix this up. CTRs were clean, bro. Clean. Cess used to love them. 100. The tiempos as well. Don't get twisted. I keep forgetting. Let's go back to that question. Can't forget the Ronaldinho ones, the tiempo Ronaldinho. Not the actual Ronaldinho boots. I can't lie. Them ones were ugly, but the ones he used to wear, the tempos, the black and white ones, and the silver ones, and all of this. I can't forget. These were, Addy Peels as well. Like I keep saying, shout the Addy Peels, but anything, these were dead. Like, these ones were dead. Like, I'm not saying these ones. It's these things. These were the ones, like the real Ronaldinho boots. And then they had, I don't know why it's not here, but they had the same colorway, but in black and white. Why is it not there? Not the actual Ronaldinho boots. I love you, Ronaldinho, but these boots that you were bringing out, they were tired, man. One ugly pair of boots. I keep saying Addy Peel. For those of you who have never seen Addy Peels, yeah, I did like these sort of boots, man. They were quite comfortable for me to wear and things. So I did think that, man. You'd obviously, there was total 90s and them things there as a kid, but that's bare nostalgia and things like that. I'm trying to look at, yeah, man. You can never go wrong with T90s as well. They've come back to me. How has your increased understanding of the inner workings of the football world affected your love for the game and Arsenal? Well, I've always been, like I said, this is a very good question, Toby. Shout out to you. I've always been quite neutral in the sense of I love Arsenal. I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm a fan of the game in it, and I'd say it still remains that. But I just think I love the club, but it's like, and I love football, but it's like I just find myself aligning with being a neutral now, like just enjoying football for what it is, because I do think there's a lot of facades, and even at my club, I think when you look at how things are really done and what things are really doing, it don't really reflect what you once knew or what you think it is, and it is a bit of a facade. Like the individuals, there are some good people, some competent ones, but you wouldn't think it's a football club. And this example isn't about football, but you start to see things, how dirty some football clubs can be, and people within football clubs. Like there are coaches, there are talented 16, 17-year-old boys who are not signing new deals, or their agents are negotiating it. And while the negotiations are dragging on, you're saying you're not playing under 18s anymore. You're not stepping up into the first team. You're not playing FA Youth Cup. We'll tell your teammates what's going on, and then we'll go out to the press and say you've got an attitude issue. Brendan Rodgers done a similar sort of thing with Raza. It's well documented. So when you start seeing these sort of things, it's like, this is why I always say I rate the players for making money more than the clubs, because the clubs would never, bro, you're never going to give Mesut Ozil 300k a week, whether he deserves it or not, if you don't stand to make substantially more. Come on now. So I do think it's affected my inner workings, and it makes you just want to love football for football's sake and not necessarily be aligned with any club or anything, really and truly. So yeah, man, it's a bit of that. What have we got here? Stylish, big up yourself. What's good, my guy? What's next in terms of your future plans? 50k is loading, and of course, eventually 100k. But is there anything away from YouTube you're plotting on doing as scouting, coaching, media, journalism, etc.? Bad mind is a thing, so I don't want to speak it into existence, but let's see where it could take me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love YouTube, but man, need to be in the footballing world, so I want YouTube to be a part of it. I don't, it's a bit of a struggle to. I don't think my story is really to have 100k and things like that. Obviously, you look at Rapman. Obviously, he was a rapper. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not listening to Rapman's music in it, but he was a rapper in it. And for one, I'm not gonna say it didn't work out, but he wasn't notoriously known for it. But along the lines, he's used his skills of writing music and story writing, essentially, to become a very successful movie director, whatever you want to call it. And I think a bit of that is going to be with man. Like, I don't think my story is these 100k subs and all of these sort of things. I think my story is something else. I don't know what it is, trying to figure it out, but why not, man? It all interlaps. So just explore anything and see what I stumble across, really and truly. It's no secret. I do love a scouting thing. I do like that sort of stuff. So why not, man? I'd say I'd love to go down that route if you pressed me. I would like to coach. I get a kick out of just coaching normally anyway. So I would say that as well. Alexandra said, would you consider Alexis Selemakers? Are you speaking about the one that was formerly of Anderlecht and now obviously of AC Milan? Think he's all right, but nah, I'll pass at this moment in time, bro. Kaya said, DG, do you think Arsenal fans need to have some patience? As a United fan, 6 years ago, we were in the mud. We still aren't at the top, but progress has been made, especially by trusting Oli and giving him time, regardless of what I think about his tactical ability. I think we've been very patient. I do think there's logic in being more patient and things like that, but I think we've been patient, man. I don't think many logical Arsenal fans, are expecting to win league titles immediately or do any of those things. But we just want to see, first and foremost, the words that come out of you lot's mouth and what we're doing on the football field correlate. And for me, anyway, speaking for myself, just the ability to honestly say we can compete. That's all I want. Just to know on a Saturday, Sunday, I can do what I'm doing in the week. And I know my team is going to compete over 90 minutes, not make these cheap mistakes and the many negatives that are with the club. So in that regards, I do think the fans have been very patient and almost too patient, really and truly, because nothing is changing. On the same hand, I do think fans do lack balance. You can't say, sell Xhaka, the club are trying to sell him, and then obviously you're saying don't let him go cheap, don't let him go cheaply, and then get upset that the club's holding out for him. I do think we lack balance or lack fairness and things like that. It is what it is, man. So I think we could be patient across some aspects, but I think the club the fans, have been too patient. And I think all we want to see is building blocks. Like I said, I don't think the impatience comes from wanting us to buy this, that, and the other. It's just make sure the words are correlated. You're telling us one thing, make sure it correlates. That's where the frustration comes from. Because for me, if you don't say a word, then I can't get angry. If you start telling us Bayern Munich level, we want to compete, a club like Arsenal belongs in the Champions League, be excited, all of these things, there's no need to tell us that, because you're just arousing imaginations and then people are going to foam at the mouth. You don't say anything, or you be a bit more honest, man. Just have to accept what it is really. So I'd say that. Esther said, why are our fans so hard on our players? I do think sometimes they're unnecessarily harsh, but I would say to you, football is harsh. Life is harsh. It is what it is. They're not harsh on Saka because he's playing good. A lot of these players, I don't think, the people that opinions matter in the sense of, the clubs and the managers, they're not harsh enough because they keep reinforcing their BS. So it's harsh, innit? But that's life. Life is harsh. If you're not doing your job, you get sacked or people get onto you. So if you're not improving or whatever, there's an issue in that regard. So I'd say that. Kay has also said, do you think people have an unrealistic expectation of Arsenal abilities to get new transfers and ship out old ones, bearing in mind the season is a couple of weeks away? I would say yes or no. Yes and no. I think some fans are living in the fallacy that we're going to get 20 man out and bring 20 man in. But I would say no, because I think many fans accept, the market, average players on big wages. We're not going to do a lot, like move everybody out, bring everybody in. We didn't get to this playing standard overnight, so we're not going to clear it overnight. But again, building blocks. We knew going into the summer, offloading people is key. So to be a few weeks into the season and still have, question marks over Bellerin, Leno, Granit Xhaka, Kolasinac, Willian, Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock, Maitland-Niles, Reece Nelson, Runnison, because the move to on loan didn't work. I don't think that's good enough personally. I personally don't. I really don't. Like, I think, like I said, I'm not expecting everything. I'm not expecting a lot, but I was expecting one or two. And, it's easier said than done, but we knew what it was. We knew exactly what we needed to do in terms of ingoings and outgoings come the summer. So to not see anyone of significance leave like that, like I said, easier said than done. It's an issue. Torreira as well. There's still a lot of oohing and ahhing and things, and it's not even like if it was a thing where we've done all our business in terms of incomings, then we can put all our power towards outgoings. I get it, but it's like we've still got to do a lot, and I don't know how good our resources is. Forget finances. I'm talking about Edu. If Edu's the technical director, if he can't be, if he has to be in London to confirm something, but we're getting someone in South America, can he delegate people to go and pattern that? Are they of the standard to do it? Not saying he's levels, but you get it. So I need to see the team and things. And obviously Arteta, Arteta's ability to do things in pre-season is going to be crippled by the sense of he's a manager now. He's not a head coach. He's got a hand in transfers. The quicker we move on with transfers, the more he can dedicate his time to being on the training ground. But the team need to delegate a bit better. And we're going to have to see. We really are going to have to see. But you might be onto something. One has said, We were obviously, sorry, he said, big up DG. We were obviously poor last season. Have you seen any change to our style of play or anything else in preseason that makes you think we'll be better this season? Well, at face value, no, because, I've just seen, mix and match lineups. I've just, seen I have seen us look a bit more better in the final third and passing and that. But again, it's pre-season, so I've got to discount that, pardon me. Key thing is significance. I haven't seen anything of significance to suggest that immediately anything's going to change, but I hope to see that as the season goes on. You've also said, do you expect Balogun to play any part this season? I hope so. I think we need to be careful with our expectations. Man are speaking like he's a 20 league goal, man. I'd love him to do that, but he's still learning his craft. And such is the game. Everybody, half the people that are saying Balogun this, Balogun that, they're the same ones that are going to be frontline saying he's overrated. So I do want him. For me, it's just about getting up to speed with things. You're going to be out your comfort zone. It's the big boy leagues now. You've signed a new deal, but that romance is gone. It doesn't matter that you're hailing. Can you do the business? So for me, it's a learning curve. I would like to see him get opportunities to actually learn, because I think he could have made his debut last season, but that's all my expectations are. Can you get your first Premier League goal? Can you just learn? Anything beyond that, it's down to you, innit? I can't really have expectations on a man that ain't played 10, 90-minute professional games, ain't played 5, ain't played 1. We just have to take it where it's going. So I feel it's unfair to place expectations on a man's shoulders like that, where he's barely had a sniff. So when I start seeing what he's about, start seeing his level, and we start seeing a lot about him, then we can start to place expectations. I would say, one, you need to get a Premier League goal in it, because I know that's what he must want to do, and it's what we all wanted to do if we got to be footballers. Transfers aside, what is the number one change that Arteta needs to make for us to be successful this season? Better man management and better game management. Sometimes I think he's played the wrong guys. Certain players, are not afforded the luxury of playing their way into form, or certain players have played well and then dropped. Mediocre players are kept in the team. Sometimes he's done bewildering lineups. He's not used someone for a couple of weeks. It's a big game. They're randomly thrown in and they look off it. These sort of things, more clarity in what he wants to do. Stop thinking. I like that he thinks about the opposition, but you're Arsenal manager, you're managing Arsenal Football Club. We need to have a way of playing. We can't always be reactive. Our best examples of us playing well is us in these top games against City, United, Chelsea, games where we've just sat off and been reactive, and we've capitalized on a mistake. And other than that, we ain't done much. We need to be a bit more on the front foot. And I think he needs to really get more out of the front line, and everyone in the attacking sense. We're ninth for goals. That is down to Arteta's coaching. You cannot praise us being third for clean sheets and say how great of a coach that is, which rightly so, and not blame some of the attacking or lack of attacking quality there, because you'd actually probably say, what is the harder job? He's done the harder part, making some of these guys look like okay defenders or defend okay, and I still think we've got a long way to go. So I would say that more clarity. 38 different games, we played 37 different lineups. I know injuries plays a part, but it's no coincidence. You have a bit more stability, you start doing better. You can't keep chopping and changing and things like that. So I would say these are the sort of things he needs to make, man. You've also said, how many players short of top 4 are we? I'd say we're short of the mentality, and that's the main thing for me. If I was to look at it at face value, I think you need a goalie. I think you need a right back. I think you need a midfielder. I think if you get them, then you could have a fight. So 3, 4, maybe get a next X factor player in, someone that makes you think, wow, like he can make something happen, similar to what we see with the young ones. So I would say that really. I've got through the questions on the members tab, people. So if anyone's got, members specifically, get your questions in, or we're looking done in that regards. And like I said, I'm live at 11:30 where we're back again. A man said we set the standard of mediocrity. It's a harsh one, man. Arsenal's mud is a different kind of mud. I hear that. I love you lot support. Appreciate that, my guy. A man said T90 memories, CTRs were clear, 100%. Boy, appreciate my moderators. Big up Omar in the cup. It's gonna be an interesting one this season. You lot making me kind of depressed about what our season's gonna have, people. We're at 71 likes. There's 100 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button and you're setting your reminders, because at 11:30 we're going live once again, folks. Where we'll be I'll be speaking. In fact, because you lot will be there as well. Litoro Martinez, Hector Bellerin, 1-2 bits on Ben White. If there's any other emerging sort of things that have happened, we'll have to see, I mean, Lautaro Martinez and James Maddison, we're living a movie. If this does happen, but that's a myth with non-UCL football. Absolute myth. And RIP to Noah Gessé. I don't know how he died, but he's a young Ajax player, 16 years of age, who unfortunately has lost his life. I think we can all agree, that's way too young for things to be happening, man. So, thoughts and prayers are with his family. That's absolutely sickening, man. And I feel sorry for his mother and father. No parent should have to bury their child, and I can't begin to imagine their pain because I'm not a dad or anything. So I can only imagine the hole that's been left in their heart, man. And thoughts and prayers are with their family, man. Allegedly it was a car accident, so it's quite upsetting to hear that, man. Do you think we've done a good job of developing defenders in our academy? Can't seem to remember a decent young defender coming through the ranks. No, because the way we've Wenger ball and all of that, clearly there's been an unconscious bias, or you're more likely to make it at Arsenal or get chances if you're these creative players and cams and things like that, or just damn right an attacker. I don't think we've respected defending historically at this football club for a number of years. That's why you haven't seen defenders come through. I do think when you've got Mon Louise and Brook, you could see it happening, coming through, but at the same time, it's accidental. The fullback, the centre halves that have been coming through, it's accidental, or defenders. Kieran Gibbs, left back / centre mid. Centre mid / winger, found a little role at left back. It's accidental. Even Ashley Cole technically was an accidental left back. Bare accidental guys just coming through. It doesn't seem like it's methodical. And I would like to see a centre half come through this academy, because who wouldn't? It would save us a buck or two. So yeah, I think until we respect the art of defending as much as we do the rondos and the 1-2s and things, we're not really going to see that. What are you looking for in Arteta's first press conference this season? Set the standards, man. Set the standards. What are we trying to achieve, and how are we going to do it? And that's it. But more so than that, less talking, under promise, over deliver. I think sometimes everyone at this club has done the wrong version of that. They've over promised and they've under delivered. So I would say just leave us in no doubt what the expectation is, because like I said, I can only go off what he says. Sorry, you always hear me say, "Oh, he said we learned our lessons from Olympiacos last year." If he doesn't open his mouth, I can't say that. And if we actually did, I can't say that, because you're telling me this as the manager of the club I support, and then I'm watching you against Olympiacos or against Benfica or against Slavia, and we're not learning it, because we're not killing off the game in one leg. We're still doing the silly, the silly defensive things that have plagued this club. We're not learning from mistakes. So just learn from your mistakes. But I would say minimal talking, man. I want the talking done now in pre-season. I want the talking done against Brentford, against City, against Chelsea. I want the talking done from now until December. Come out of that December period, still be in the top 4 race realistically, because we were out of it by then. And that's it. That's it. That's silly. Like, we should. I'm sorry, but I have a really tough time writing off a season in December. Like, it always feels like that. We're writing it off. Like, and I have even you lot know me, and you've been in these live streams. Even when there's nothing to play for, I still want to play for something. I don't think there's ever anything to play for, nothing to play for. Even when it became clear we're not getting Europe, and people were saying just do this and that, I was like, no. Can we use this time to set some building blocks for next season? Play some players who will play next year, etc., etc. So for me, just under deliver. Just keep the talking to a minimal. Go out there and do it. Simple as that, man. For me, anyways. That's all I want to see, really. You do that for me, I'm laughing. It's as simple as that, man. Nothing else has to be said. Nothing else has to be done. Just go out there and do the business, man. But we'll have to see what happens. As I said, please make sure you're hitting the like button and you're at the watch along. Stop saying watch along, man. You're at my next live stream, which I'm going to post a link for you guys now, because I know some of you lot are lazy. Please make sure you're following on Twitch as well. Let's get the Twitch links for it again, lazy guys. Shout out everyone that's been locked in via Twitch as well. I love you guys. Creator -1. But yeah, both him and his brother died. Fuck's sake, bro. Thoughts and prayers, like I said, with his family. Like, That sucks, man. And that's why it sounds cliche, but you lot, man, you never know when it's your last day. You really have to live, your 8 days like it's your last, man. And really try and impact each other positively, and just don't sweat the small stuff, man. Like things that might be big arguments now, it don't mean nothing, man. Like I said, the guy's 16. That's I don't want to talk about it anymore, man. But God bless his soul. God allow his soul to rest. And like I said, man, can you please provide a safe vessel and refuge at this difficult time for his family, because there's no amount of words, etc., that will be able to console them. They have lost child, man, too, especially for the mother. Yeah, father equal for him, but it must be different for the mother who's given birth. You know, had them in their bellies for 9 months and all them things there, like, you know, breastfed them, all these sort of things. Special sort of bond, literally, you know. If you're in your mum's belly and your mum feels pain, I swear you feel pain, and them things there as well. She eats, you eat, so it's even worse, man. And it's upsetting, man. Like, yeah, he's probably impacted a lot of the footballing community, but it's just the family, man. Like, the house ain't gonna be the same. As a home isn't gonna be the same without them lot. So it's upsetting, man. But pardon me, thoughts and prayers. Like I said, please make sure you hit the like button. Get a couple of questions in, people. If there's no questions, we'll lock this off, people. I don't know how we've got to 46 minutes and 12 seconds. We're zooming fast. I'm loving it. Right, Joe Willett remains keen on Newcastle switch. Go then, brother. We need the bands, man. Anyone who wants to go. I can't begrudge you. Do your thing, big man. That is what it is. No more questions. All right, cool. Well, I get a bit of rest until the next live stream, people. So if there's no more questions, bro, AM, it's a mazza, bro. If there's no more questions, then yeah, like I said, I implore you lot to all make sure you're at my live watch along. Stop saying watch along. It's early in the morning. At my live stream at 11:30, people. Where is it? Let me get a link for you guys, because I know a couple of you are lazy. We're at 87 likes, man. We still haven't even got 100. You lot are lazy. If you have not hit that like button, unexpected bills are due your way, and Arsenal are not signing anyone. Big up to someone who just hit it, because I just seen it's gone to 88. But as I said, I've dropped the link in the description for you guys. Literally 11:30. We're going again. We're going to speak about this Lautaro Martinez business. I'm seeing emerging reports talking a bit about what's his face. Forgot his name now. Joe Willock and all of these sort of things. So we'll get into that. So like I said, join me in just over half an hour, really. Look, just because I know you look like to stare at the thumbnail, you know. Photoshop skills are getting better. I can't wait until I make them real edgy ones where they're just standing out and stuff. But on a serious note, I've dropped the link. Make sure you're subscribed on Twitch, and thank you very much to all the members, them that are, you know, members of this community. It means a lot that you lot support this thing. So it means that, you know, I can give you lot you know, some sort of value. Obviously next season we'll get a lot more interactive stuff. Like, you lot are I'm gonna need the members that aren't scared to have their say, you know. Even if we get little short videos or whatever, it's gonna, you know, we're gonna get some stuff going. So I appreciate you lot, and this is my chance to give back to you. You know, it's been I wouldn't say short, it's been 48 minutes and something, so it's been a decent one, but it's been one of my shorter ones. I can't force you lot to answer me questions. Maybe I've just answered everything. Omar, maybe we've answered everything, man, who knows. But yeah, I'll catch you lot in a bit. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing, you're following me on Twitch, you're subscribing via Twitch with Amazon Prime and things, if you do not want to see ads and that. So yeah, man, what can I say? I'll catch you lot in a bit, people. Literally in under half an hour. But let me leave you with my goal and I'm out. Wait, let me see. All right, cool. I thought I missed the question. So yeah, one love to the members. Content king, content never stops. We go again, people.
Against this right back, Charlie.